Let's do it. All right, we're live.
Libros, pongo en los libros with the Blue Mountains. Shout out to Pete. This goes out to Pete Alonso. These Blue Mountains are dedicated to Pete Alonso because we can finally just chill knowing that Pete Alonso is still alive and that fuck bombs are still on the menu and that the polar bear is still here. Big night for him. This is one of the things we said we wanted to see. We wanted to see Jake pitch well and maybe try to win the Cy Young. We wanted to see Pete Alonso break out. We wanted to see the core do things. And with Pete, that's two birds with one stone. He breaks out, and he's obviously a core member. So, can exhale. Big time bomb from him. Big time fuck bomb. That, like, who cares about the game? Just the fact that he's out here still doing it.
We had our what do you want to see tonight for the game, and I was like a 2 hour and 20-minute game, if not that.
Yeah, I know, man. Well,
and what's his name? I wanted to see what's his name get a I wanted to see Heredia get a web gem, and instead, if they even have web gems, we don't watch ESPN anymore. But I'll take a bomb too. Like someone tweeted out earlier, he passes Met legend Jed Lowry on the all-time Mets home run list.
That's great. That's fucking funny. From now on, every game here on out for this season and until the end of time, I want to watch a baseball team that can run the motherfucking bases. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. My mom is texting me like, oh my God, this team should just stop running. She was like, they should do it like T-ball, just run station to station. These guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. It is getting crazy, man. Can I just forget about the Mets for a second? Can I show you what I have ahead of me for the rest of my night?
Oh boy.
My neighborhood, they do recycling cardboard only twice a month. And I missed it. I missed one of the days. I didn't have any recycling to start the month. Then I started getting a bunch of boxes. And then I missed it. I was on vacation for one. And then I missed it. I just happened to miss one. And it's been Amazon. It's been COVID, right? So I have this little, like, here's my kitchen. And then I have this, like, back stairway door. I just have so much fucking cardboard. And up there is like my attic where they have to do some work. So the guy came by to do work today and was like, bro, I can't even fucking get in there. So I have to
like a hoarder.
Oh shit. It's also like a Jenga tower. It's like very carefully put. So I have to sit there for the next like as long as it takes and break down all those boxes with a box cutter and shit. It's like 2 months worth of fucking shit. Not happy. If this was a bad Mets night and I had to do that, I probably would have just like moved. I'd probably be like, listen, whatever they have to fix up there, I don't care. Whatever it is, I just don't care.
I thought you turned the box cutter on yourself, like instead of cutting the. We're done. We're done.
Yeah. So what was that?
That was my computer.
I thought it was a fire alarm or something. So news of the night: Wayne Randazzo talking shit, saying that Trevor Bauer should not win the Cy Young because of his strength of schedule. All of a sudden, we're doing college football here. And, Wayne, I hope for your sake, Trevor Bauer doesn't become a New York Met because it's going to be awkward now for you. It's going to be real awkward for you when Uncle Stevie decides to sign Trevor Bauer and he comes to Queens and you're the asshole who's trying to say he shouldn't get the Cy Young. That being said, I totally agree. And I think that Jake DeGrom pitched against some of the finest teams in baseball. That strength of schedule should absolutely be included. And in that case, Jacob DeGrom should win the Cy Young. Facts.
Facts only.
Bauer replied to him?
Huh?
Bauer replied to him. Did you see it?
Yeah. So Bauer said, and I got to be honest, Trevor Bauer in that spot should just fucking clown him. He was like, it was too literal of a response. He was like, we can't help our schedule. That seems unfair. He should have just been like, shut the fuck up, Wayne Randazzo. You know what I mean? Like actually, listen, there's validity to both sides. Yes, you can't do anything about your schedule. But yes, if you're pitching against trash the whole year, that should matter, I guess, So to take that seriously and for Trevor Bauer, who's like always talking shit and speaking his mind, to be like, well, Wayne, I don't think that's fair. He should have just been like, fuck you, dude.
When he actually vlogged the thing with Tim Anderson and he's like, why didn't you bat flip me? I'm like, I love this guy.
Yeah,
Trevor
absolutely. Bauer. I mean, I feel like we should open up the back up the Brinks truck for, a 1 or 2 year deal, whatever the maximum that he does is, because he's so goddamn cocky. I love it. I would love him on this team. Oh, as long as he's fucking good still. Like, he's had his like ups and downs. If he's fucking power outage type dude, in New York with like, just say whatever you want, do whatever. Oh man, that'd be so great. That's why, you know what? I'll tell Steve Cohen this. One way or the other, in the year 2020, I want to have the reigning Cy Young. So it's either going to have to go to Jake or it's going to go to Bauer and you go sign him. Either way, I want to be able to repeat in 2021. So make it happen, Uncle Stevie.
Make it happen.
I've decided these other bums that are in the running are not going to win. I think that, like, these guys, there's a bunch of dudes who put together 10 good starts. And I think that the writers really should sit there and be like, who are the guys who could do this over a 32, 33, 34 starts, And it's guys like Jake and Trevor Bauer. The rest of them, great fucking 10 or 11 games. Good for you. But we know you're not the real deal. Fuck off.
Yeah, and Kyle we were talking about in the pregame too, like the dude on the Brewers, Benson or whatever.
He was a reliever. Like, fuck out of here.
He wasn't even eligible because he didn't have the start limit until recently. That's why he wasn't in the conversation.
You can't be a Cy Young winner if, like, you started out the year in the bullpen. Fuck off,
Yeah, exactly. And then whereas I was actually talking about this with Kyle too. It's kind of interesting. I feel like there's a chance Jake will get like the, hey, Jake is so fucking good, he should win it because we know what Jake DeGrom is, where Bauer's up and down. There also may be I don't want to give him 3 Cy Youngs. He's not like a 3 Cy Young worthy person because it's stupid baseball writers. However, I also feel like especially the old baseball writers hate Trevor Bauer, and they will not.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I
threw that ball to center field.
I think Jake DeGrom absolutely is a back-to-back pedigree guy. What I could see is we don't want to give that the third year being a fake year. That
it's also like the LeBron effect. Like, LeBron's the MVP every year, but when you look at all the other players, you're like, well, the other players have better numbers. It's like, yeah, but LeBron is the best player, like, hands down.
I mean, if you ask anybody, which pitcher of this bunch do you want?
Right.
It's everyone's saying Jacob DeGrom.
Right.
But I could imagine, Maddox and Randy Johnson are the only people to do it. They did it, they did it 4 times in a row. So you're really thinking for those guys, you're talking about they did it over the course of like 120, 130 straight starts for 4 years, Whereas Jake, if you were to go back to back to back, this last one only having 10 starts, I mean, I don't know. I really go back and forth on all this shit. Everything's fake unless you're talking about my guy, and then it's legitimate. Yeah. So right. I don't know what the answer is, but it's it's like
it's a double-edged sword because it's like he's pitched against teams 100% of the time. He's pitched against teams that have scored 60% of like the most runs, but it's also because the rest of our rotation has like a 7 ERA. So it's like the fact that the Mets have been shit might actually benefit him in that all the other teams have scored off of us, Yeah.
I mean, and it's one of those, like, I would love to, well, no, I was going to say take Jake off and like, what's our record? But we know that they never win for him. So that doesn't really matter. Shout out to the Puerto Rican though. Got to give him some love. He pitched really well tonight.
6 1/3, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned, two total. Not too shabby.
66 strikes. Love to see it, nice and efficient. And there he is. I mean, the best closer in baseball, Edwin Diaz. I'm just going to be a total asshole about it and become the biggest Edwin Diaz fan on the planet. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I always supported him. What are you talking about? He's the best. Fuck you. Let's just have some fun here down the stretch, boys. Fuck them. So, let's maybe we'll talk to the Rocket and see if we can get a quote or something from Trevor Bauer about Wayne Randazzo and what it's going to be like when he plays for the New York Mets next year. It's going to be awkward when Wayne and him get together. Trevor, what do you think when you play for the New York Mets in a couple months? Let us know.
I thought you were going to ask for a quote like about playing for the Mets or playing for Uncle Stevie, and honestly, I wouldn't put it past Barry. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. I'd love to do that. I'll see you guys in a couple
I
weeks."
can't wait. You know what? Tomorrow's next start for Trevor Bauer should be pictures of fucking Steve Cohen airbrushed on his cleats. Cohen cleats. Let's do it. Let's tamper. I want to tamper like a motherfucker. Let's go.
He changes like the whole dynamic of the whole team if you go get him too, because he's a number 1 who would be our number 2, and then you have Syndergaard coming back, and then Lugo is your 4.
All of a sudden,
I'm not trying to get too excited too fast, but
we got 5 aces.
And Peterson.
No, if Peterson really can be your 5, and he's allowed to be, he's actually is a 5. That's fucking phenomenal.
And then you're lefty too, so that's just like gravy. It's like, all right, you need the lefty anyway. He's our 5. He's basically a 3 because he's a lefty. That's the way my brain works. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, he's a 5. He's a 3. So he's practically a 1. He's an ace. We got 3 aces. Whatever, no big deal. You do that. You go get Real Muto. You go get Bauer. This team, if they can't make the playoffs, then just fucking forget it. Just fucking pack it in. Don't watch baseball ever again, because if that lineup, that rotation can't do it, then. I mean, what else can you do? How else do you make the playoffs? I don't know how to do it if you can't do that.
That's basically our. If we were able to do that, if we got Bauer, Realmuto, and a center fielder, which the center fielder you probably have to do a trade. We're saying maybe Rosario's in a trade or something like that.
Right.
I mean, there's the team, and like, fuck, it could work, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's as good as a team you can put together without Cohen going full like fuck it, let's go get everybody. But as far as just like make a couple tweaks, add a couple pieces, that team is as good as anybody can really put out there, and then it's in God's hands at that point, which God hates us, so we'll probably miss the playoffs, but at least we can confidently say we put together a real ball club. I know if we go 5-0, the Marlins go 2-3, and the Phils go 2-2, we're in.
Why do you want to hurt yourself?
That's not like. I mean, listen, that's not going to happen. But it's not fucking insanity.
Damn you, Garrett.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it, Garrett. I'm like parasailing in Consolina right now. I don't need that in my life. I don't know if you guys covered it. I'm sure you did.
SNY?
What?
SNY?
Yeah. I mean, watching the Wilpons botch everything brings me so much joy. I mean, they already lost a couple $100 million trying to play hardball with Steve Cohen with the team, and instantly lost $1 billion with SNY. Like, I don't know who gave them this advice at first, but saying that they were gonna. I mean, if you got an offer for I have a pretty steadfast rule in my life. If you get offered $2 billion for anything that's not like a franchise or maybe like a social media app, but even then, pretty much someone offers you $2 billion for something, you fucking take it. If someone offers you $2 billion for what's basically a local baseball channel that runs some shitty game shows, I mean, I don't think SNY's worth like
it's loudmouth. They run like loudmouth, and then the Mets game, and then a million Jets and Mets highlights. Who wants to watch that?
If you ask me to actually put prior to any knowledge, if you asked me what's SNY's worth, my legitimate answer would have been like $20 million. Like I really thought that it was worth no more than that. And then I heard $2 billion, and I'm happy to hear that it's like you'll get no more than $1 billion. Every day that they wait, things just drop in value. Team down $200 million. In one fucking day, the SNY goes down $1 billion, and every day they wait. I hope Steve Cohen calls them every day. And he's just like, the new offer is $900 million. Click. The new offer is $850 million. Click. And just keeps going down and down and down until he gets it for, like I said, $20 million. These dumb motherfuckers. Oh, and you know what? Don't worry, guys. I'm sure you'll be able to be, the savviest of businessmen and navigate the New York City commercial real estate market. That's not difficult to figure out right now. That's a walk in the fucking park, you assholes. These guys have no shot. They might be broke when it's all said and done. Jeff Wilpon might be begging for change on the corner. Anarchy in the streets.
Anarchy.
Fucking anarchy. But really, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and it's great to watch. I love it.
It's like, so when you hire your son, you can't fire him. But the fact that Fred's like, we need to sell the franchise, we need to sell SNY, we need to liquidate, we need to plan for the future. He's backhandedly being like, you're a total fuck
You don't know
up.
what you're doing.
You've had 40 plus years, however old he is, to prove to me that you're not going to screw this up. And like, unless I liquidate this now, like your kids are screwed. And he's like, yep, you're right. Just go ahead and sell it.
You know who Jeff Wilpon is? He's Billy Madison. He's Billy Madison. And Fred is like, I can't. I'm about to die. I'm about to retire. I can't leave these things to you. We can't, he should have sent Jeff Wilpon back to high school, and then maybe he would have been able to handle all this. But as is, I'm going with Eric. Eric, business ethics. These guys don't know what the fuck they're doing, and it's great. I mean, how could you let him run this the whole time, only to know deep down when the chips are really down, you can't let him control anything? It's like, well, then what were you doing letting him run in the first place? I guess it really was just like daddy's toy. Like, here you go.
Kevin, you're comparing Steve Cohen and Eric with business ethics. It's starting to hit home a little. I'm starting to a little bit. And like Crazy Carl is Soul Cats, he's just around.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
He reminds me of Kendall Roy from Succession, except he acts like Cousin Greg.
Yeah. Not a combination you want.
Yes.
You do not want to be a cross between Kendall and Cousin Greg. Oh man. But whatever, it's great. They're out of my fucking life. It's beautiful. That truly hasn't fully set in for me yet. Like, because right now, it's almost like when somebody dies and you still got it, you're doing the wake and the funeral, and they're still in your life in a way, even though they're not alive. And then, the day after the funeral, it's like, oh, okay, now I have to just start life without them. It's all of that, but in a good way, where it's like they're still lingering. I still see him. I still hear his name. He's still involved in some things. And when it's all gone, when he sells the network and everything, it's just going to be like, poof, like this name and this person that used to, from a distance, somehow ruin my day-to-day life out of my life. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful.
You go in to the dentist or the doctor, and then they just cut out whatever was bothering you. And one day you just figure it's gone.
My tooth feels great. I can chew again. I can live again.
Chew.
Yeah.
We should just like walk the Canyon of Champions on like approval day.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in solidarity. You'll just see like all these random strangers walking down the street. Like, is there a parade going on? Nope.
It's not a bad idea. I'll throw a fucking Canyon Heroes parade right goddamn now to celebrate that guy's demise. See you later, pal.
That day, whenever it's official, will be the most worn Mets jersey or Mets apparel day of the year, outside of maybe opening day. And maybe even this year, we don't even know what the fuck opening day was. We're in like Corona fog. And that day is going to be like the Mets just won the World Series the night before. Everyone's just going to have their hats on. And it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious.
We might have to do a fire Wilpon, like fired Wilpon or something like that. Like it finally happened.
Yeah.
Fired Wilpon. I like that.
It'd be amazing. So anyway, we're gonna go 5-0 and squeak into the playoffs. But listen, Pete Alonso back, and that's all you can ask for right now. So we'll see you tomorrow. A couple more in the books. Get your Coors Lights ready for the remaining games. It's time to just chill. We're just this is our little. Think of this as the end of an era. This is the last time this team, for the foreseeable future, will be playing out their days as like a lame duck that means nothing. Because I think next year and the years to come, they will be a contender, and I don't think Steve Cohen will ever really let them become just a nothing. There will be meaningful games in September, every September from here on out. So let's just, you can't, I don't want to say enjoy these games because it's like fuck, but soak it in now. So this is your last games being a true blue fucking loser, because from here on out we're at least picks. So it's like we're gonna get cool. We're gonna graduate and go to high school next year. So live out your last days in 8th grade at middle school, like doing lame middle school kid stuff. And we're just gonna watch this shitty team, drink some Coors Lights, get our mountains blue, and close the books on this terrible era of our lives, and we start living for real next year. So get your Coors Lights for the remaining 5 games. That means 10 more quickies and another episode of We Gotta Believe before we head to our off season and we'll enjoy it together. So get your Coors Lights ready. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Get ready to celebrate responsibly, people, because it's going good. It's getting good. It's going to be so good.
You got to celebrate. You got to believe.
Gotta believe.
Gotta believe.